I'm going to go ahead and start again. So welcome and thank you for joining us. This is going to be an informal panel, maybe a little lighter, hopefully, than some of the other wonderful sessions that we've been having before. This panel is going to allow us to dive deeper into 5 programs. We have many, but there will be time for questions and answers at the end of each panelist's presentation. You'll use, as in the other presentations, you'll use the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen to indicate your questions at the end of each speaker. This slide here is a great example of LEWK's achieving our mission of statewide reach. Connie, who lives in Bethel, is seen here with her Ovary Achievers team from all over Alaska, coming together at our annual LEWK Climathon fundraiser. Next slide. The mission of LEWK is to provide creative statewide education, support, advocacy, and arts programs. We are dedicated to preventing, facing, and ending gynecologic cancers. Our board members consist of survivors, a caregiver, and a medical provider. There's Dr. Joni Mayer Hope is the president. I'm Mary Rita Ely, a survivor, cancer survivor, ovarian cancer survivor, and community activist. We have Marcia Burns, who was a caregiver for her sister for a long time. She's our treasurer. Connie Sankwich from Bethel. And then Tiffany Briggs is our newest board member, and she will be one of our panelists today speaking. Next slide. Please visit our website. You can follow us on social media or sign up for our quarterly newsletters to find out more about our community events, such as those pictured here. We had a wonderful event at the Botanical Garden last summer. The LEWK Climathon, you can see that there in the middle. And then another one of our programs really got us through COVID quite well. We had our Zoom socials once a week throughout the COVID times. Next slide. We are thrilled to be celebrating the 10 years of LEWK. As you can see, we have our Joshi Soul was here 2 years ago, and that's our annual Dance Like Barb Rhythm Heals concert. And he'll be here live, well, he'll be alive, thank goodness, in Salt Lake City with his band, The Cool, and they'll be performing tonight at 5 Alaska Standard Time. And you can find that link in the chat and all over social media. Our picture up here to the upper right indicates the activity really from our very, very humble beginnings when we had the band NED, No Evidence of Disease, to perform for us. And that was really the beginning. We've had volunteers, lots of volunteers throughout the years that really has helped us achieve our mission. And in the middle, you can see, well, actually myself and my daughter, we really pretty much will do anything to draw attention to being down there aware. And this is us wearing extra large floater panties at one of the Alaska Run for Women activities. Next slide. And we're going to have Maiken Erickson, who will be presenting on the extra tufts. And so Maiken, you can go ahead and do your thing. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Rita. I'm really happy to be here today to talk to you about the Extra Tufts program and my experience with Let Every Woman Know. I got involved with Let Every Woman Know in March of 2020, thanks to COVID. I had been interested in getting connected prior to that, but my work schedule just didn't permit for the times that there were scheduled events. So with the Zoom, I was able to get online and connect to Let Every Woman Know when they were having the Zoom sessions weekly. That was really good for me. I had been struggling since my cancer diagnosis that had been in April. Thankfully, the cancer was caught early and it was surgically remediated. I didn't have to have chemo or radiation. But I did have physical changes and was struggling with some of the emotional impact of cancer, just because of some trauma history that I had. And I was in a hard place. And so I was really grateful for the opportunity to connect with Let Every Woman Know, and just have people that understood where I was at, and it was really beneficial. So Ali brought Extra Tufts to my attention in January, so a year ago in January. And previously I had been interested, but again, with my work schedule, it just wasn't something that I felt like I could go to my about and get the time off. So I thought about it, and I had been working remotely from home since COVID had started. And I approached my boss and asked for a flexible schedule, which he was amenable to. And then my Extra Tufts journey began, and I was really didn't know what to expect by that. But I'm going to share a little bit about what it's done for me in my life. So basically, what I realized was that for a long time, self-care had kind of gotten thrown out the window. That happens, I think, in life for so many reasons. But you know, family, there was a family to be taken care of. I had work, I put myself through school as an adult. And so I had not been taking care of myself in the way that I needed to. And then, you know, cancer and then COVID, and it sort of just kind of went downhill. So Extra Tufts helped me connect with an awareness that I really needed to put myself and my health first, because I didn't want to end up with another medical situation due to the lack of taking care of myself. And I had grown up a competitive ski racer, so I was familiar with exercise and fitness. It had just been something that I had lost along the way. And Extra Tufts helped me reconnect with those areas in my life that I used to enjoy so much, which is great. But it was just one of the small benefits that I had gotten. I've been able to connect with a really great group of women in Let Every Woman Know, but also in the Extra Tufts program. We get out in the community and do stuff together. We've gone for walks and hikes and swims. It's just so supportive and fabulous. And we've, you know, the one thing that brought us together was cancer, but there are so many things that we've identified with outside of that: resilience, family, friendship, loss, support, connection, community, and you know, self-awareness, finding ourselves in that, you know, through the things in life that maybe cause us not to put our health first. And so I'm thankful to Extra Tufts for that. I asked some of the Extra Tufts ladies words that they would use to describe their experience, because I wanted them to be able to share with you all too. So I'm going to take a moment here and read some of what they said. Reclaim personal power, kindness and empowerment, hope, and extrovert's dream. I can tell you as an introvert, not to be worried about that. Works for introverts too. Caring and camaraderie, and community to community. We have a member in Juneau, and one of the pictures you see on your screen is Anchorage Mary, who went down to Juneau for a race with Juneau Mary, and Juneau Mary was her cheerleader for the race. And then another picture on the screen is some of the members on our Zoom session striking a pose for y'all. So it's a really great program, and I work in IT. There's a concept in IT called 5 nines. And the idea is that is you want your systems to have a 99.999% uptime, meaning that per year, Amazon should only go down for 6 minutes at most, or Google. And everybody knows when, Facebook or Instagram or something goes down, right? So it's all about prevention. And like all of the fabulous doctors today are doing their part in research and helping come up with ways to identify treatment and prevention for cancer, I feel like my part is to promote healthy lifestyles and self-awareness, and just do my part of prevention so that we can help not be in situations where we're having to look back and make the changes after the fact. So I feel like Extra Tufts is the 5 nines for GYN cancers, and it's really made a huge difference in my life and in the lives of all of the other women in Extra Tufts too. And I think that I speak for all of them, that if you have a chance, please join and support Let Every Woman Know. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Maiken, for sharing your personal story and your personal journey, and those of the other Extra Tufts out there. Thanks a lot. We're going to open it up, and we're just going to kind of limit it to maybe a couple of minutes here, so we can kind of keep on schedule. So if you have a question, you can go ahead and put it in the Q&A box. So far, we don't have any questions, but we can take some from any of the audience, I guess. One question I have, Maiken, is you've met new people each time. Can you tell me a little bit about the cohorts? Do you just do it like one time, or can you repeat it? How does that work?
Sure. So each cohort is 3 months. And so initially when you sign up for exercise 3 times a week. And then there's a counseling session 1 time a week, and a nutrition counseling also. And so it's really great. And what's really great about it is that you can come as you are. So there have been times where I've missed the fitness, but I can still show up for nutrition. So it's not an all or nothing. It's everything counts. And then once you're done with that cohort, you can sign up again for the next cohort. So, and you can travel and do it. That's the really fabulous thing about Zoom, I guess, is that you can take Extra Tufts with you. So we've had members join from Hawaii at 6 a.m. and make us all a little jealous here in Anchorage. And people travel, and it just becomes a very fluid part of your life, with no expectations of one another other than, show up and be present when you can. And that is in good times and bad times. I mean, we're at all stages of a cancer journey. Some people have no evidence of disease and are, and then other people are in treatment, and we navigate all of those things together as a tribe, really. I found a tribe of women that are fabulous, and like I said, we're all very different in where we came from and our backgrounds, but we've found a really common thread in that we want to be better versions of ourselves.
Great, thanks. Yeah, that's a great answer. Somebody wanted to know if people if you have gone on longer than your 3 months. So have you been going past your 3 months yourself personally?
Sure, yeah. So I started in January a year ago. So this will be my, I don't know how many. So it'll be a year in January that I've been doing it. So,
great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. Yeah. So we're ready for our next speaker, who is Teresa Sellers. Thanks so much, Maiken. And Teresa will be speaking about her experiences with leading a healthy lifestyle. And boy, does she lead a very, very healthy lifestyle. Go ahead and take it away, Teresa.
Thanks, Rita, for letting me be here. Am I on?
You're on, we can hear you.
Okay. So my name is Teresa. I got involved with LEWK because I had a personal history of cancer as well. Cancer really sucks, but there's a lot of benefits and things that came out of this. Thanks to LEWK and some other organizations, I've been able to, I did a triathlon after my cancer treatment. And so I was active duty when my cancer happened, and fitness in the military is a very important thing. You have to, you got to maintain that that standard. And I had 3 more years before I was ready to retire at 20 years. So in order to continue that time frame for myself, I had to get back into shape after my cancer treatments. So LEWK gave me the opportunity to participate in the Golden Nugget, and it was amazing. It was awesome. My first time that I swam, I did a side stroke. I was so terrible at swimming. I actually hated swimming beforehand, but through the military, I had some organizations that also helped me teach me how to swim better and compete at that level and stuff. And so so the next year, I think I took like 20 minutes off of my Golden Nugget time. The other thing that I've done is the bike for women, the run for women, and I did the climathon. So the climathon was really, really cool because, I mean, in my first year, I think I barely made it up the mountain once. And then every year I would add another one. I think there's going to be a limit to that. So my last time that I did it, when it was live, I made it up the mountain 4 times. So it's just, for me, it's just a challenge to keep going and keep challenging myself to continue and better myself and keep my times. I'll never be a person on the podium or anything like that, but it's just a matter of challenging myself and keeping active and beating Dr. Hardesty. But anyways, not that I'm competitive or anything, but yeah, that's my story, and that's kind of where I'm at. I love to it's kind of like I feel like sometimes I am how does the saying go? No, never mind. Jack of all trades, but master of none. So yeah. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. And if anybody's got, I never would have, like I said, if you told me before cancer that I would compete in a triathlon, I would have laughed at you. But it was, it's fun, and there's a good camaraderie in that. And it's fun to see how you can progress.
Thanks so much, Teresa. Does anybody have any questions for Teresa about any of our healthy lifestyles activities, programs? For some, it's competitions.
Yeah.
I have a question. Teresa, I know I met you when you first became involved with Let Every Woman Know, but how long would you say, and maybe I missed that, how long have you been working with just all of our different programs? And
my cancer diagnosis was almost 8 years ago. So I guess I finished cancer almost 7 years ago. So I think that's probably, and then after that, I think my first Golden Nugget was maybe 2015 or 2016. I can't remember which one I did, but yeah.
That's great. Well, I know I've personally enjoyed seeing you kind of blossom and contribute so much to all of our programs. So thanks so much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Great.
a lot of fun. I mean, yeah.
Good. Awesome. Thank you. Well, I think we can go ahead, and if Debbie Boots is ready, we can have you go ahead and pop on. And Debbie's going to be talking about oncology massage. So take it away. There we go.
I'm just really happy my Zoom worked. Hi, thanks, Mary Rita. My name's Debbie Boots. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I've been in practice for a little over 28 years. I'm also trained in oncology massage. Besides work, I'm a pretty active lifestyle. I enjoy lots of sports. My favorites are doing triathlons, playing hockey, all kinds of biking, and many other things. So I guess I just work and play. So we had some questions, so I'm just going to kind of run through my answers here. So how did I get involved with LEWK? I remember probably the first Climathon when Mary Rita, we have some mutual friends, they were doing some laps. So that's the first time I heard about LEWK, but I had my own personal introduction in 2018 with my own cancer issues. And from that point forward, I've been volunteering ever since. So anything Allie needs. After I received my diagnosis, I knew immediately that I wanted to do some further training in oncology massage. I wanted to share all my training and my years of practice with the other women going through gynecological cancers, hoping that I could help make their journey a little easier. It's been great because my cohort, Teresa Arnold in that picture there, she and I are now in the infusion center doing massage for patients, and we're able to have some of the LEWK patients come to our private practice, so we get to see them there for longer times, and then at the infusion centers we get to see them. It's nice to hear them, the patients, tell us how the massage affects them, that it helps with their anxieties, their neuropathies, helps them relax, not be anxious, helps them sleep, better overall body awareness, and just feeling better in them, in their body, kind of a little more normal. Let's see. So one of the questions is, what's our goals to help awareness? So one of the couple things I want to continue doing is I want to continue letting cancer patients know that massage can be safe, but that it's important to check in with your therapist, make sure they have some oncology training. Also to continue educating the cancer community, nurses, doctors, other providers, that we modify our massage techniques in order to work safely with the effects of cancer and cancer treatments. So I think that's really super important, that we're, our adjustments are based on a 5-point pressure scale. So we're doing 0, 1, and 2, and not 3, 4, and 5 on people. So it's not super deep work. Anyway, and also at my private practice, I see a lot of women, and I see a lot of people all week long. And I've, over the years, after I've had my cancer issues, I just have been checking in with all the gals and making sure they're getting their annual checkups, and telling them about LEWK, telling them about my story, not all the time, but sometimes, and just making sure people take care of themselves. That's it.
Thanks so much, Debbie.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to cry here a little bit because
Oh God.
I've known Deb. She's been kind of a hero of mine in the athletics world, hockey in particular, and I've also known Teresa. And I know, Debbie, that you're a fairly private person. So you sharing your story and your talents and your profession with us is really, really special. Yeah, I really, really appreciate it. And the work that they're being able to do is partially funded or funded here through Let Every Woman Know. So there is some funding since they and Teresa have been trained, and they're seeing great benefits for the gals down in the infusion center. So yeah, does anybody have any questions for Debbie? While I'm waiting, I have one. I know that there are quite a few women that have lymphedema in particular, and maybe that would just be one you could talk just a little bit about, like how specifically would that, you kind of alleviate their fears about massage?
Okay. I think the best way to answer that is to let them know that, because lymphedema can be painful. It definitely can be painful. I think the most important thing is that I tell them that it's going to be very gentle massage, and basically I probably don't say it as much as I actually just put my hands on them and let them know what the depth's going to be. Check in with them constantly. And I think we just talk about it. And after a while, usually they're asleep. So no, I'm just kidding. They're not always asleep, but that's the most important thing. I do have a couple patients that have one that I go to her house, and definitely we have to go through some gentle, maybe work on other areas, and then we might move to doing some gentle massage or even some manual lymphatic drainage, which is different than gentle massage. It's completely different. And it is even probably more gentle than weightless touch. I mean, it's about the same. So.
Thanks. Yeah, that's where that training and really making sure that if you are getting massages, that you've talked both with your, your provider, but especially with your massage therapist, to make sure that they do have some kind of training. And for those of you that haven't had massage, or you've thought about it or not quite sure, feel free to reach out, and we can make some connections with that. And then once we get back at our in-person events, we usually have some short massages available for people to try out that. So great. Thanks so much, Deb.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next speaker is, I'm really excited, is Georgia Blue from the Georgia Blue Gallery. And Georgia has been collaborating with us with our arts program since the very beginning. And so I'm going to let her take it away. Go ahead, Georgia.
Thanks, Rita. We had a fun evening last night.
It was fabulous.
It was really wonderful. So I just thought I would tell you a little bit. I first became involved with LEWK about 10 years ago. In fact, we had their first art installation, and it was really in the gallery, which you kind of see how we've evolved, but it was just a few pieces at that time. And then a friend of mine came down with GYN cancer, and I just started to think about what more could I do as far as raising funds for LEWK, who I knew was helping so many women. I also found out that many women, including myself, knew very little about GYN cancers. So that was also something that was more of an impetus for me to kind of get the word out via art to our community. My role has become more obvious in the sense I decided to really embrace this whole project. The art exhibit grew. You can see quite a few pieces of art there on your slide. And we started focusing artwork by primarily with artists who had dealt with GYN cancers. And but we also invited other artists. And I found out that from my own personal experience, it was really interesting to hear stories from the artists. And so I found that when male artists donate artwork, it is usually due to the fact that a mother or wife had experienced a cancer. Women gave for many reasons, a variety of reasons. Young artists gave because of Mary Rita and her daughter Tess, and professional artists contributed because they were asked. So it's been fun to watch us evolve. Many of our artists who have donated for the past 10 years. And some of our higher ticket items have become a higher price. So we're able to raise more funds for LEWK. And also the pieces that they're donating are one of a kind, beautiful pieces. And just to name a few artists, Kim Marcucci always donates a painting. Karen Williams always donates a gorgeous mosaic piece. Mike Anthony always comes up with some new fantastic wood project he's done just for, I'm going to say for Mary Rita, but for Let Every Woman Know. So every year it's new, it's fresh. There's a wide range of prices so people can pick and choose. But I also thought, kind of, thinking about all this, the whole idea of the art component to let every woman know. And I realized that for an artist, in working with art, your brain can create new synapses. And so new wave patterns can affect the nervous system. And scientifically, this has been proven. And actually, even observing art can be something that's going to be a wonderful way for your brain to be putting its energy. And so I think this might be the time for you to start thinking, the good that comes from visiting a museum, visiting a gallery. And I would say once a week, I hear somebody is in our gallery for what they call their art fix. So that's really fun for people to be having that experience with my business. The LEWK staff over the years has created several changes that have enhanced the presentation and the ease of purchasing. In 2019, our event was huge. It was right before COVID. We had music, we had totally wonderful food, and it was just felt so celebratory. But the LEWK staff didn't let COVID stop them. They went in, and in the past 2 years have come up with a new plan, a new program that allows for online sales. And this is really, I think, been better for people who are interested in supporting LEWK, but it also helped the gallery because it got to be quite a project for the gallery. And as it turned out, one of my staff who had helped us for so many years, all the years, she left Alaska. So I was appreciative of this new way of doing business. I wanted to mention that several local restaurants over the years have been really involved with this art auction. And Formaggio's Artisan Cheese, who is sort of a partnership program, partnership business within our space, as always does wonderful things. And I love to learn about the collaboration and the diversity of the different people and the different businesses within our community who have put a lot of energy and time towards supporting Let Every Woman Know. So my final words is for all of you to pick up a paintbrush and start to learn about your own unique vision and be delighted by what you can create. And I want to thank Mary Rita for involving our gallery. It has been truly joy to be part of this whole entire event.
Thanks so much, Georgia. I love that takeaway is just art for a fix. I know I love coming down to the gallery and maybe grabbing a sandwich at Formaggio's, but just wandering around, especially on a darker day, you know, and you've been so very careful about mask wearing during the COVID time. It's felt safe to come on down. So thanks so much for that. We really do try to include art and creativity in so many of our activities, our socials and things. So thanks for encouraging us to all kind of use our creativity, whether that be dance, poetry, song, or, you know, the visual arts. Thanks. Does anybody have any questions for Georgia? Well, while we're waiting for that, one question that I have is, do you have any advice for anybody who is in the community, Georgia, that has some kind of a business or thinks they may have something to lend to the cause? Do you have any suggestions for that or any ideas?
Well, I think that if people aren't interested in participating on any level whatsoever, they just need to contact me. Let's see where their idea can go. Let's see what we can do with it. This year, as you know, you folks added Furnish, a business right down the street from us, who ended up handling the smaller objects, art objects. And I think that was wonderful to have people move around to get to know our businesses. So yeah, in the very beginning, I believe you started out and you had a variety of galleries involved, and that was fun. And I just think people, if they've got ideas, we can figure out a way to make things happen.
Great. Yeah, thanks. She was, and Georgia was referring to Darcy, who has Furnished Studio and Salvage, which is a new business that has a really exciting mission of taking furniture that may have ended up at the dump or who knows where, and refinishing them, refurbishing them, and having crews of people come in and help her with that. So it's a super great little area business, and it's right in that. Georgia, what do you call the center there?
We're in the Olympic Center Mall at 36th and Arctic.
Thanks. Yeah, great. And then one last thing I wanted to mention while you're on here, Georgia, is that there's still time. I guess if you're out and about, if you leave this, you want to take a break, but all of the sales today at Georgia Blue Gallery are, we let every woman know will receive 10% of all the art that is sold today in the gallery, and all the sales from last night and online, 100% of all that art profits goes to our program. So the arts really has contributed to supporting our programs and supporting creativity. And we've had artists from all over the state, again, focusing on our statewide mission. So great. Thanks. All right. I'm kind of excited about, thank you so much, Georgia.
You know, actually, recently, I mean, the last couple of years, this past week, the gallery donated 10%.
All week. Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. And that'll continue next year too. All right, so our next panelist is Tiffany Briggs, who's going to be talking a little bit about awareness and all of the advocacy programs she's doing, not only here in Alaska, but all over the country. So Tiffany, we're ready for you if you're ready.
Thank you, Mary Rita. Thanks for having me here today. My name is Tiffany, and I am a stage 3C ovarian cancer survivor. And I knew once I finished treatment, I knew I wanted to do something to give back to the community, or, you know, just to help. And I didn't know what that looked like. And I didn't know that awareness and advocacy would be such a driving force in my life, as it has turned out. But things happen for a reason. So after I had finished with treatment, I don't know, it was a few months later, I volunteered at the Climathon, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe that so many people had come out from all over Alaska, really, to participate in a gynecologic cancer awareness and fundraising event. And I thought it was amazing. And I remember looking up the mountain, thinking, wow, these people are crazy. I could never do that. I think maybe 4 months out of treatment at the time, and just like, oh, I could never. I did end up doing it, 2 or 3 years later. And I can't say enough great things about that event. It's awesome. And then, so I felt really strong about helping volunteer with LEWK, just in whatever way that they needed, because the programs and things that happen can't happen with all volunteers, right? There's only so much of Allie and Maya that can go around. And then, which has led me to be on the board now, and which has been great and really exciting. And then I also do advocacy work through the Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance, which has taken me to Washington, D.C., and talking to our representatives about why funding for ovarian cancer research is so important, and to put a face to this disease, because it's one thing, they're getting requests for money all the time, but to actually see someone who's from Alaska, how it impacts our community, really goes a long way, and have actually had quite a bit of support from our representatives on funding for ovarian cancer research and cancer research in general. So that's been great, and I try and share as much as I can on social media, just signs, symptoms, wanting everyone to recognize our own bodies, and when things change, maybe it's time to go see a doctor, and it's not just something that we should overlook. So just taking personal awareness and being our own advocates personally, and then also in the big picture. So it's kind of me in a nutshell.
Thanks, Tiffany. She's kind of understated that she does some social media. She is blasting everywhere. Teal, be aware. And so it's really great. Really appreciate. And it's been fun having you along as well. So do we have any questions for Tiffany as far as being on the board, promoting awareness, or any of her advocacy that she's doing? When she says our representatives, so the national, maybe you want to just describe that briefly, just so we can bring it back home and know that we do have representatives here that you're talking to in Alaska, talking to in DC.
Yeah, so when I go to DC, I'm meeting with Senators Murkowski and Sullivan and Congressman Young. Typically it's with their staffers, but I have had FaceTime with Senator Sullivan, and over Zoom, I've talked with Congressman Young, and then over the phone, I've also had a talk with Senator Murkowski. So, they are always very interested to hear how these issues tie back to Alaska. And so, like I said, I'm happy to represent Alaska and speak to them, and why research funding is so important and critical.
That's great, thanks. Yeah, and then as you talked a little bit about research, one of the programs that Dr. Hope mentioned in the beginning of our program is the Any Mountain program. And so there's lots of information. If you missed that, that'll be in the chat as well. And that wonderful, creative, artistic, musical adventure is really helping us to get that team, the research team, going. So yeah. Any other questions? Let's see, I think I have one more here. She's wondering, are our representatives, Tiffany, back there, are they aware of LEWK and what's going on here? Have you found that they've been aware of the treatments maybe and the care and the needs for the women in Alaska?
They are, because I bring it up every single time I talk with them. So, and it's interesting because a lot of times too, you're speaking with their staffers. I don't want to say just their staffers, but you are speaking with staffers, and most of them are younger women. So it's also a chance to talk with them because they are originally from Alaska as well. 9 times out of 10, their staffers are. So it's getting a chance to talk with these younger women. Are you aware of gynecologic cancers? Do you know your family history? Do you know anyone with a gynecologic cancer? And they're bringing this information back with them when they talk to their friends as well. But yes, I always do loop in, let every woman know, and the things that we're trying to do and have done up here.
That's great. Thanks. It's really important to have that, representations. Oftentimes in Alaska, we feel like we're, can be isolated, or our needs are oftentimes seen as, and really are, very unique. And so that's one of the reasons that I got involved with Let Every Woman Know as a ovarian cancer survivor myself. After treatment, there are some great support groups for just women's cancers in general. And I got to participate with Women Listen, and that was really wonderful. During the retreats that I was helping facilitate, I realized that there were a lot of women that had a GYN cancer, and we just felt like there was a little different kind of a need. And so that's how I really started thinking about what is it that I can do, speaking, to friends and people that I know. And then when Dr. Hope came along with No Evidence of Disease, Ned the band, and we decided, wow, okay, maybe there is a way that we could get something going here in Alaska, specific to our needs. And it was so important for us to really concentrate on the whole state of Alaska. And for those of you that are out of state, I know some of you, Tiffany, you probably have family on and they get it, but it's really a challenge to be able to reach out into the areas where there are not roads, some of the rural areas. And I'm just really proud of the work that we've been able to do in that. So yeah, thanks a lot, Tiff. Any other thing you wanted to add before we kind of do a wrap?
No.
All right. Okay, why don't we go ahead and do the next slide? Thanks a lot, Tiffany. So we have support and community and connections statewide, like I was just mentioning. One of the retreats that we do is a survivor retreat. And we've been able to do that in just an amazing setting on Yukon Island. Another one of our dear friends and members of LEWK is also a survivor and has allowed us to spend a good 2 nights, 3 days out in her property on Yukon Island. And we've tried to get out. We've done kayaking, we've done arts, we've done just incredible food, but mainly the magic happens when we just get together and talk and get to know each other. So a lot of friendships have happened over the years. We have it pictured here also is a group of us at That Feeling Co., where we did a social gathering, and that's a company, a big plant store here in Anchorage, and they have all sorts of arts programs, it's a plant store, and they've allowed us to do some of our art programs and work there. And so here we were painting pots and planting, and it was just another way to bring the women together, all of us, and it was really fun. And Tiffany brought her friend that was a guy. So that's great. And I guess I want to touch a little bit on that too, because Tiffany talked a little bit about the opportunity to share our mission and the awareness of GYN cancers with women. But as my husband always says, it's really the men that need to be aware too. So we need to share the information with, fathers, sons, brothers, however that goes, because you're there and you see women, you see the women maybe having some difficulties, some health concerns, maybe not taking as much time for their own self-care. So it's important that the men in our lives also are aware of the potential of GYN cancers. Speaking of men and our caregivers, we have a caregiver retreat each year, and that's been really great down in Girdwood with Chugach Adventures. And there's plenty of opportunities for people to volunteer. Here at the bottom right, we have health fairs that we attend so we can spread some of the information out as well. Next slide. There's a lot going on in this slide, and I think the main idea about this is anyone can come up with an idea that can help support or become involved with Let Every Woman Know. We really do prize our diverse group of ideas. Before, in an earlier presentation, the South versus Service High women's soccer teal game started out at our very first Rhythm Heals concert when a young friend of mine, Carrie Gill, thought, wow, my young girls, high school age, they need to know about this, and they could really use this as a project. And so that very spring, just a couple months later, was the very first teal game. And so it's been played ever since. And not only do the girls learn more about their own bodies and the importance of healthy living and healthy lifestyles, but their families also do. And so that's been great. I've had an opportunity to talk with the team, and the coaches have been really supportive of that. So that's a fun spring event. And then the Liz Ho Memorial Volleyball Tournament is really another fun summer adventure. Liz Ho was courageously fought ovarian cancer and passed away, and her family and all of her admirers and friends have kept her spirit alive through a volleyball tournament. And then one of our latest collaborations is the Shop and Donate and Choose Us. So the fashion-packed resale boutique, it's here in Anchorage, offers a percentage of sales if you go in, buy something, and mention Let Every Woman Know. And the reason we bring this up, even though these activities seem to be Anchorage centered, this can happen in any community. And so if wherever you are throughout the state, if you have an idea, maybe you have a profession, it's like, oh, I never thought about, but if Georgia Blue's doing this with the art gallery, certainly my business could do something. Or you have any kind of a creative idea, please reach out to us. And you can do that through our website, which again is plastered all over everywhere, but Let Every Woman Know. .org, and we are happy to help you promote any kind of ideas that you have. Our latest one here, this last slide, is our virtual Run for Women, and we got together and walked on the coastal trail. And of course, seems like we always have a great time. Lots of good camaraderie, good laughs, and lots of teal and purple. So I guess my question to you is, how do you think you can help shape the next 10 years, whether it be a big or small ways? If you have any ideas, please reach out. We're really open to that. So unless there's any more questions, I think we'll call it a wrap. So thank you so much to all of our panelists who prepared and generously shared their personal, stories with us. And take a break and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I will see y'all at Joshy Soul. Enjoy your lunch. And up next at 1:15 is the afternoon session. Thanks, everybody.